As I mentioned in previous video, in this video and in the next video, I am going to talk about few more data types. Few data types uh, such as sort, for example, integer or double and float and byte. But unfortunately, all these data type we know are related to number, right? I mean, either it is an integer or a decimal, but all these data type mainly works with numbers. We don't know how to handle text or string. My suggestion is, why not type hello world text or a string in this REPL environment in a double quotes. So let me try. And yeah, with this response or the result, we know the string data type. Let's define a name variable with the initial value as a Bruce to practice the string data type. For example, well, the name of the variable, which is in our case name, colon, the type we now know as a string, like you can see over here, and let's assign the initial value, and we know we need to type double quote from the previous example hello world, right? So let me type Bruce as an initial value again in a double quote, and let's hit enter, and yeah, it is working. So we know that double quotes within a string, we know that in order to define a string we need to use double quote. How about single quote? Let's define a string hello in a single quote, for example, like this. Ah, and we get the error. The error is little bit long, so let me help you with this error. Notice they have mentioned something called the character literal. What that means is, when you define something within a single quote, it is expected as a character, and when I say character, it is a single character, whereas we pass hello as a word or bunch or few more character, like not a single character, but we passed a bunch of character, right? So let's define a single character within a single quote, and let's see what Scala interpret it. For example, S, and here it is. And now we know that when we define something within a single quote, it is interpreted as a character, and character is the another data type now you know. Let's define the first letter as a character variable with the initial value as a to practice. For example, well, then first letter, then colon, then type, which is in our case char, equal to capital A. And if this works, and yeah, it is working. So we now know how to define a character data type or a character variable in a Scala. That is good. Apart from string and character, don't forget about the boolean. You know, the data type that hold two value, either it can be a false or true. Let me type the true over here, and notice everything is in a small letter. So let's see, and yeah, we now have the boolean data type. Let me type the false, and let's see it works, and yeah, it is working. So we now know how to define a boolean data type and the possible value it can accept, I mean boolean can accept, right? Let's define a passed variable to practice this boolean data type. For example, well, the name of the variable, which is a passed, then boolean, and here again b is capital in a boolean, and then let's say true as initial value, and yeah, it is working. Finally, before I complete this video, I would like to mention one more special data type, and the only value it accepts. Yes, I am talking about null. So here you can see null is the data type that only accept null as a value. N is capital again in a null data type, whereas the value is in a small letter, like we have false and true. Now you know primitive data type in a Scala, such as byte, short, integer, long, float, double. Then in this video, string, character, boolean, and this null. In the next video, I will talk about two composite data type, which are array and map. So see you in the next video.